Today, we'll discuss the science of love, how it contributes to your well-being, and how to cultivate more love in your life. What is love? The definition of love is very hard to pinpoint. Just ask all the artists, scientists, and philosophers who have tried to provide a definitive answer over the years. Love is a feeling, an action, a state of being, a motivation. How can we boil it down to just one simple definition? However, psychologists have determined one characteristic shared by all the behaviors and experiences that we think involve love. That is, its investment in the well-being of the other for his or her own sake. So what does that mean? What is love? It means that love is wanting another person to be happy and healthy. This is the characteristic that most people consistently say is central to the idea of love. It provides a very useful starting point. Think about it. Whether it's a parent dressing their newborn baby, one sibling defending another on the playground, or the feeling you get from sending or receiving a birthday card. All instances of love involve a desire for somebody else to feel good. So what's the opposite of love? You might be thinking, isn't hate the opposite of love? It turns out the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. This phrase, most often attributed to Holocaust survivor and author Elie Wiesel, emphasizes a central aspect of love, namely that it involves a powerful feeling. Hatred also involves a powerful, but in this case, negative feeling. Therefore, it can't be the opposite of love. Since love involves being invested in somebody else and wanting them to be well, the opposite of love is the absence of investment and wanting the other person to be well. Indifference, in other words. The experience of falling out of love provides an effective example of this. When a close relationship fades, one or both people in the relationship gradually come to care less about whether the other person is doing well, and they start putting less effort into promoting that other person's well-being. Perhaps you have experienced this yourself. You might remember a moment when you looked at someone you were once close to, and you felt no drive to be near them or invest in them. This process, though often painful or saddening, is part of the natural cycle of relationships coming and going throughout our lives. So what is love in psychology? Believe it or not, psychologists only really started studying what love is as a specific idea in the last 75 years or so. In addition to realizing that love involves feeling good when someone else is well, psychologists started to describe different types of love, such as romantic love and compassionate love. While psychologists generally agree that there are a limited number of types of love, everyone has agreed that love manifests in many different ways. For example, love can be why you forgive your partner for always being late, why you commit to finishing a creative project, why you dream about getting a promotion so you can afford to take your kids to Disneyland, or why you feel devastated when one of your favorite sports teams loses. Notice that the only shared characteristic of these situations is that you care about something or someone and want it to be well. So is love an emotion? Psychologists have argued a lot about whether love is an emotion. Paul Ekman, perhaps the most famous researcher of emotions, has said that each basic emotion should come with its own unique facial expression or show up in the body in a unique way. But this theory causes problems for love being considered an emotion. For example, when you see your grandmother, you may cry tears of love, but seeing your romantic partner come home makes you smile with love instead. Instead of thinking of love as an emotion, think of love as a combination of a feeling and a thought. Love is present when you 1. Have a feeling, and 2. Label that feeling as being related to love. When we look at love this way, we also get around another issue with the idea of love as an emotion, which is that emotions change all the time. Knowing that, how could someone who has been lovingly married for 50 years feel the emotion of love that whole time? They just kept having feelings that they decided were driven by love. What are the benefits of love? Research has shown again and again that people who report feeling more love and having more close relationships are happier and healthier than people with less love in their lives. Perhaps the best example of this comes from Harvard researchers who followed a group of men for over 80 years of their lives. The researchers found that warm and loving close relationships, whether with friends, family, or spouses, were among the best predictors of well-being across the entire lifespan. So what are the types of love? The types of love are 1. Companionate love. This is the kind of love felt between friends and family members. Couples who are older or who have been together a long time may also be experiencing companionate love. This love is driven by shared experiences, affection, and commitment to each other. 2. Romantic love. Romantic love is distinguished from other types of love by its passion. In romantic love, you feel not only affection, but also desire for the other person. 3. Compassionate love. Where companionate love and romantic love happen between two people who might consider themselves equals, compassionate love is usually what takes place when one person feels driven to care for another person, especially someone who might not be as capable of taking care of themselves. Caregiving is the hallmark of compassionate love. Think of the parents of newborns or the people who care for the terminally ill. So how does love feel? Love can feel lots of different ways. In romantic love, chemicals that are designed to help you bond to your partner can flood your system, making you feel euphoric and powerfully drawn to your partner. Companionate love, by contrast, may be less intense, but still features affectionate and tender feelings. Compassionate love, as its name suggests, is characterized by compassion, feeling for the other person or feeling compelled to help them. What are some tips for cultivating love? The simplest way to cultivate love in your life is to focus on the good you see in others and the good you want for others. One scientifically proven way to do this is to practice loving kindness meditation, a Buddhist practice in which one deliberately and repeatedly thinks kind and loving thoughts towards others. Many studies have shown that practicing loving kindness increases your positive feelings toward the people you think about and your desire for them to be well. Deliberately thinking about or writing lists of what one is grateful for is another way to cultivate love. Finally, simply caring for and doing for others, even just in our regular everyday lives, can make us grow and deepen our love for them. Love is a way we choose to see our actions and feelings. In many ways, love itself is a choice, an attitude or an approach for moving through the world. Knowing what you know now, I hope you can find the love you are looking to give and receive. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and check out our free resources at berkeleywellbeing.com.